Alrighty then. So, hello. Looks like we have at least two people here thus far. So, of course, we're gonna wait a few. I hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good weekend. Um, I know whoever might be here might be lurking. So, whoever it is, I hope you had a good weekend. We're just as I said, we're gonna wait a few minutes to see if we can get wait on some more people to show up. Hopefully. Um, hopefully your weekend went well. Um, pretty much for me, I pretty much let's see, Saturday I pretty much watched Dark Shadows, hung around the house, and yesterday, of course, set up my streams for the next 2 weeks, and and then um and then of course I was on with RJ and Mr. Hop last night for kind of a closed set open mic night, authorized cast and crew, limited number of people in there. But anyways, I hope everybody's doing well tonight. Um, like I said, just waiting to see if more people show up. So gummy bears bouncing here and there and everywhere. Find adventure that's beyond compare. They are the gummy bears. They are the gummy bears. Let's see. Scooby Dooby Doo, where are you? We got some work to do now. Come on, Scooby Doo, I see you, pretending you got a sliver. And you're not fooling me, 'cause I can see the way you shake and shiver. You know you got a mystery to solve, so Scooby Doo, be ready for your act. Don't talk back. And Scooby Doo, you're gonna have yourself a Scooby snack. That's a fact. Scooby Dooby Doo, here are you. You're ready and you're willing. And we can count on you, please, Scooby Doo. You know we'll catch that villain. And see now. Oh, great. Oh, thank you for. Let's see now. No. Report. Oh, they hide you the. User. Yeah, but so 5 minutes. Report. Nothing me. Reported him. Reported him. Alright, so now I guess we're just waiting on more friendly people to come in. I just wish I could outright ban his ass. But I've reported him now, so. I was just waiting for him to do something like that, though, in order to. Oh, wait, I'm better than. Even though I'm the only one here at best. I'm just waiting on more people. As usual, people are. All right, let's see. So now we have two people in here. Hello. Okay. Well, we're at 8.5 minutes now, so I guess be a good time to start. Be a good time to start. Um, Getting started with the content here. Um, so what's on tap for tonight? Well, we have 5 stories tonight. Um, Two in regards to X-Men 97, and of course, the supervising producer, Charlie Feldman. We have a couple anime related, one involving, of course, the Netflix production of Cowboy Bebop. The other one, there's an announcement in regards to Attack on Titan. Um, and then we also have some news coming out of Boom Studios. So, without any further ado, why don't we go ahead and get started? Let's see now. He's back. This isn't the same person, Batgoat. This is the guy I was telling you about the when we last talked about it. Yeah, this is the guy I was telling you about before. The one who's kind of the guy who's kind of a cyber bully. So he's playing his game again. So um, anyways, how are you doing, my friend? I hope you're feeling better. Um, I said we do have 5 stories tonight. Couple in regards to the X-Men '97 series. Um, oh, he's back. Oh, I'm sorry, Batgoat. He's back. Cool, cool. I thought um thought you were talking about the troll guy, but no, sorry about that. Yeah, I'm glad you're back, Batgoat. So, anyways, so now with that, so let's go ahead and get started with the stories then. Oh, you see what you just wrote here. Now, 2 devoted trolls, you're coming up in the world. No, Batgoat. The two that I just hid just now are basically the same person. Okay, hold on. I gotta. I just, oh, oh, Batgoat actually did that for me. All right. Yeah. Unfortunately, we may have to put up with this guy for a little while until he gets the message that he's not welcome here. Unfortunately, I know, Mike. I'm trying to laugh at troll. He just said he was going to bully you. We've recorded that. Yeah. Well, um, yeah. Well, I hope you did, Backo. I hope you recorded that. I have basically, and I've basically been timing him out and banning him every time he comes in with one of his alt accounts because this is one person doing this. Um, so basically, he's getting the message that I won't put up with his little shenanigans, and the fact that we have to actually talk about this right now instead of getting to the story is a little aggravating. But anyways, trying to move on here. All right, so without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started here. All right. So, anyways, let's get to the articles here. All right. So the first two articles we're going to talk about tonight are in regards to X-Men '97, more precisely about one of their supervising producers on some comments she recently made. This is Charlie Feldman. So, X-Men '97 supervising producer Charlie Feldman. Donald Trump cannot condemn white supremacists because he is a white supremacist. Article by John F. Trent, published um, published this past Friday, the 19th. So here we go. Back out. I hope you're still with me. All right. So, anyways, X-Men '97 supervising producer Charlie Feldman made it very clear her disdain for Donald Trump, as well as her belief we live in a racist world, as we've seen from many SJWs. She's also advocated for including more LGBTQ content in family and children's programming. Yeah, I think there are a lot of parents out there who are not thrilled at that idea. Feldman announced her involvement in the show, stating on Twitter, "Quote: I can finally share, but will truly never believe that I am a writer and supervising producer for the new X-Men animated series, X-Men '97. Strap in, bub. You are in for a hell of a ride." If they're pushing a lot of the woke agenda, she doesn't. I don't think she fully knows just how apropos that statement is. Hell of a ride. Back in September 2020, Feldman tweeted, quote, Donald Trump cannot condemn white supremacists because he is a white supremacist. Donald Trump cannot condemn white supremacists because he is a white supremacist. She just repeats herself 3 times, thinking that if the more she says it, she's probably one of those who's under the delusion that the more she says it, the more true it's going to become. I'm here just had to convert to a screen cap file. Okay, what is that? Is that you? So when you're converting to the screen cap file, um are you basically screen capping that the thread he just made that he basically was going to teach me what real bullying was? Is that what that was? That back up? Anyways, back to the article here. On January 6th, Feldman called for President Donald Trump to be arrested. Of course she did. She wrote, JC, this is not enough. Arrest Trump. Remove him from the grounds immediately. She also called for the abolishment of the United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Of course she did. Of course, if a lot of these, the thing is, I wonder what would happen if a lot of these illegals decided to come camp out on her front doorstep or even break into her house to, do whatever they wanted from, you know, taking her possessions to taking advantage of her, let's see. Screen capped the whole screen and I'm converting it so I can email it. We good? All right. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for that backup. Yeah. So Well, I hope you can still catch it because remember, I've hidden him and I've already reported him too from here that his content is harassment. That's why he said in that last statement, "I'll show you what bullying is," because I'd reported him twice already. So you know, um, so anyways, all right. So back to the article here. She tweeted, quote, "Today is a good day to abolish ICS and end child detention if you want." Well, the children wouldn't be being detained if if they were not being forced to try to come into our country illegally. Again, I wonder what would happen if these people found their way onto her lawn, onto her property, and basically would felt that they could basically have anything they wanted of hers, whether that be her property or her money or her food or her possessions or maybe even her. I wonder how Charlie Feldman would feel about all this. Hello. Hey, Rick. Thank you for being here, man. Um, you know who is trying to make his presence known. That goat though is helping me to make sure we send a strong message. And I thank you guys for the likes and shares. Hopefully, we can get more friendlier people in here. Um, so I thank you guys for being here. Um, Yeah, we're the article we're going over right now is the first of two in regards to Charlie Feldman, the supervising producer from X-Men '97. Trying to get through it as we're also having to deal with he who shall not be named. um, so um, so yeah. So Rick, as I said, I appreciate the like, and if you can share, make sure we can see if we can get some more people in here. That'd be appreciated as well. More friendlier people, that is. Um, you know. So, anyways, let's get back to the article here. While discussing FX's Mrs. America drama about Phyllis Schlafly and Gloria Steinman, Feldman claimed, quote, "We're all living in Phyllis Schlafly's horrible, racist, and self-serving and cockeyed world." No, we're not. She added, quote, "The focus on how she won and how they always win with these tactics is why this is a damn thriller. My stomach," unquote. Hmm. Well, I mean, again, it's kind of funny when it's funny because I know somebody, I don't know if it was my sister or my aunt. Somebody said the other day that said kind of reminded me when Donald Trump was elected, a lot of these celebrities were saying that they were going to move to Canada or they were going to move out of the country, and they didn't. Why? If you don't like it here, leave. I'm talking about America, of course. If you don't like America the way it is, leave. Nope. um, and Rick, I know you're up in Canada there, so that may not necessarily apply to you, but anyways, but I do hope that people who are in the stream here like the stream and like the content. So, anyways, let's get back to the article here. Not does Feldman believe we live in a race. I think it's supposed to be not only does Feldman believe we live in a racist world, but she also believes that gender is similar to religion. No, gender is biological. I'm sorry, but gender is biological, not religious. She wrote on Twitter, quote, "Gender to me is similar to religion. You may grow up with it and it can give guidance, community, identity, and perspective. Some may find peace within its framework, but some just don't need it. And the more you hold up either as absolute truth, the more you limit your world." Um, no, biology limits you lady. You're born male or female. That's it. You're not born any other way. You're physically born either male or female. You're meant at some point in your life to propagate the series. In other words, to bore offspring to continue generation. That's how things work. The fact that you're confused on this, Miss Feldman, is it just shows how much of a twit you are. Uh, it applies a little here. Some ways I would like to move to Texas or Florida. Okay. Well, yeah, I would too. What is wrong with the world with limits? Well, I think most people who are sane and of sound mind, Rick, um, would say nothing is wrong with having limits. But you have people like Miss Feldman here who seem to think that a limitless world is a good thing. Of course, that is until she becomes a victim of a limitless world. Then we'll see if she still believes that a limitless world um, is a good thing. Feldman also detailed in September 2020, and in my personal writing tropes include grappling with gender, two, himbo good boys, three, mom stuff, four, queer kids going on adventures that have zero to do with their queerness, five, folk, myth, fairy tales. Neil Gaiman probably did this better. Six, anxiety over the future. Well, as long as you try to force your opinion on everybody, you have you have every reason to be anxious about the future. As long as you try to, you know, force it, um, action to it. Hey, Mike, what's green and smells like bacon? Kermit's fingers. Oh, that's funny. Action. That's pretty funny. Thanks for the laugh, considering what we were dealing with earlier on. We need rules and boundaries, personal society wise. Otherwise, you just have chaos. True. That is very true. That is very true, Cross. That is very true, Rick. You're right at that. You are 100% right. Without limits and boundaries, you'd have chaos. People like Charlie Feldman don't seem to understand that. They want this limitless world, but they don't have much foresight to see what that really means. You know, and I believe that if somebody ever were to actually show her what that would mean, she would honestly regret the things she is saying right now. So, anyways, let's see. You guys have been chatting it up here. Hey Cross, hey Toys. Kermit's finger. That's old. Hey Bat Goat. I watched your car vid. I'm out loud. A cross toys. As always, guys, I do appreciate any and all likes and shares. That helps with the algorithm. Um, and let's see if we can get some more friendlier people in here. So what you think? The toy con. Hey, back goat. The stick joke is good. All right, so let's see. All right. I have a lot of jokes um, about unemployed people, but sadly, not none of them work. Okay. Anyway, so let's get back to the article here. Feldman has also advocated for including more LGBTQ content into her work. In 2019, she wrote, quote, honored to talk my career and LGBTQIA plus representation in animation to at Awkward Sapphire's class. So many things I wanted to say or say better, unquote. She added, quote, might be a fair analog for how many queer folk like myself feel about pushing for inclusion. Trying our best, wanting more, wanting better, unquote. Well, that's the problem. You're pushing too hard. You're pushing way too hard. In a subsequent tweet, she added, quote, because we all know how much good it does to be seen in the media we consume. Anyways, a real pleasure all the same to talk to such a great class. Thank you, Sapphire, for thinking of me. Feldman also tweeted in May of this year, quote, I would like less bromance and more bro romance in my family entertainment. Thank you. Unquote. Hmm. Yeah, I think you're actually in a bit of the minority on that, Miss Feldman. She then shared a GIF from the Falcon and Winter Soldier writing, quote, let the bros romance, damn it. Her thread would continue with GIFs of film and with Finn and Poe from Star Wars, main characters from Luca and Cartoon Network's Infinity Train. In June, Feltman also retweeted Gravity Falls creator Alex Hirsch, who tweeted, quote, to any creative at Disney TV feature, publishing, or streaming, please mercilessly spam. Oh, get this. So she's calling, okay, to any creative at Disney TV feature, publishing, or streaming, please mercilessly spam your exec with there's room for everyone under the rainbow, in smaller quotes. Um, Next time they tell you to please revise your LGBTQ plus character for not being Disney appropriate. Well, because they want to appeal to everybody, not just a small group. And they know they'd get serious backlash. But maybe the more egregious tweet she made was from back in 2012, where she appears to show prejudice against white males. She wrote, quote, it's to a point where every time I pass a 20-something lone white male, I feel the need to ask them to please not shoot people just in case. Yeah. Chan- chances are, if you actually said that to somebody, you would likely get slapped. You would. I think if she went out and actually said that to somebody, she'd likely get slapped. Okay, not that I'm calling for violence or anything like that, but these people just don't get it. Let's see what you guys are. She may want that, but most people don't want to see guys kiss. Yeah, agreed, Rick. Agreed. Agreed. Let's see. I saw about 2 minutes of you giving grief to Mrs. Toys. Then I thought I'll finish later, and I went and golfed. I've allowed NP back goat, no pressure, push, 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 splash. That's my daughter. uh, that's funny, dude. That's good. An ex medic digs dark humor. How about that? I love it. um, I saw there is a room. I saw there's room for the one who made the rainbow. How about that? I golfed it in 25-degree weather, no wind. It was beautiful. 25 degrees. That even without the wind, that's still got to be something. Back go. Still got to be something. Anyways, back to the article. Hard to imagine someone who advocates for any of this will create any kind of quality product, especially concerning a sequel series to the much loved X Men the animated series. Yes, and there's been a lot of talk and criticism um, about how that I already know that Yellow Flash has already stated he's not as likely now to watch it because not just simply what this girl has said, but also what that other supervising producer said, that Jake Castorena guy. So you know these people are just looking for ways to kill off series. So I think she certainly warped has a warped view of what white people are like. I would say 99.9% of the 20 something guys don't go around thinking about um, shooting anybody. Yeah, I seriously doubt that too, Rick. What does candy and guns have in common? If you bring them to school, everybody wants to be your friend. Okay. Maybe a little dark humor there, but how about best timing? All right. So, anyways, let's finish up this article and get ready to move on to the next one here. One more paragraph. My guess. Oh wait. It's hard to imagine. Oh, okay. We already read that paragraph. So, my guess is the show will be riddled with left-wing talking points and propaganda, as the main creators behind it clearly indicate that's the most important thing they care about. What do you make of Feldman's tweets? I believe she's a twittiot. I believe she and Castorina are both twitiots. So um yeah, so that's my take on them. They're both twitiots. All right. And of course, if you thought that was bad from that supervising, here's some more of her overinflated ego opinion. Okay, not sure if that is so true. Action Toys channel. That was a good guess. I agree. There's a disc golf place, a 40-minute drive from my house, BG. Hmm. Yeah. So here's some more takes from Charlie Feldman. Okay, so here's the next article. Here we're gonna talk a bit about X-Men '97 supervising producer Charlie Feldman declares, in quotes, Kyle Rittenhouse is a effing murderer following his acquittal. So, yeah, I have a few around my house. Like anybody wants her thoughts on Rittenhouse talk about um, delusions of grandeur. Well, yeah, well, she's a supervising producer. So I mean, yeah, you're right there, Rick. I doubt seriously anybody really wants to hear her point of view on any of this. In fact, it's more likely that the more she runs her mouth off, the less likely people are going to watch the sequel series because she's showing her cards there, basically. She's basically telling every. I think she's in essence with her comments here, basically telling us all what to expect from the show. Okay, as I said earlier, I already know Yellow Flash has already stated he's probably not going to watch the show. I'm not going to. I mean, initially I might have thought of checking it out, but after seeing what I've been seeing the last few days here on it, you can forget that. If it's gonna be woke, woke pushing, then up up theirs. Anyway, so article by Spencer McCooley published earlier today, and the other article I think was by John Trent from Friday. So, all right, so here we go. In the wake of the full acquittal of Kyle Rittenhouse on charges of homicide in relation to the now infamous events of August 25th, 2020, X-Men 97 writer and supervising producer Charlie Feldman has weighed in on the jury's verdict, rejecting their decision and declaring that the Midwest teenager is a effing murderer. No, he's not. He was actually doing his constitutional duty of protecting the people. Okay, so and I don't know if you got. I don't know how much of the quartering you guys want. I mean, I actually saw some of his videos today where he was going off on some other celebrities who were actually praising the people who Kyle had ended up gunning down. So yeah, he is back. I believe he is. See, the sad thing is some weirdos do want to hear her, but I heard that Twitter is starting to shut down the anti Kyle garbage. Well, that's good to hear. They're actually doing something right for a change. I'll give it a chance. Kyle's a good kid. Praising kid touchers, lefties are evil. Yeah, well, yeah. I'm sure, Batgoat. You probably. I don't know if you saw, as I said, the quarterings take on it, but I guess Mark Ruffalo and Pedro Pascal both are getting like majorly ratioed for like praising these guys who Kyle shot. So, anyways, Let's see now. Oh yeah, we already read that paragraph, so let's kind of move on from that. Taking to Twitter on November 19th in the near immediate aftermath of the verdict's reading, Feldman asserted to their followers, quote, the cynical inevitability of the Rittenhouse verdict doesn't take out the pain of what the status quo or racist BS represents, the terror it instills, and the lethality it codifies. No, because here's the thing: if they hadn't been rioting in the first place, they would not have got shot. Okay, you people want to try to tear down America from within? Guess what? If you're going to start rioting in the streets, if you're going to start destroying property, if you're going to start chasing down 17-year-old kids and just expect them to let you kick their butt because you feel you have a right to, first off, you don't have a right to do that. Second off, the consequence could very well be getting a bullet put in you. Okay? I'm not saying people should go out looking to shoot people, but if you're gonna start causing problems, if you're gonna start rioting, you're gonna start breaking the law in a very violent way, then yes, I'm sorry, but you should expect to get shot. I'm sorry. You know? Oh boy. Why do women like Jesus? Because oh boy. Pedro is getting his butt handed to him, deservedly so, dude. How is Kyle racist for shooting white people in self-defense? I know it's so delusional. Well, because they okay. I'll try to explain their probable reasoning. Okay, here is probably their thinking on it. Okay, despite the fact that these two individuals, the one in particular, was a convicted child molester. Okay, despite that, they were fighting for the greater cause. You know, racial equality. Okay, in the minds of the lefties. Okay, they were therefore in the right. Okay, so therefore, because they were in the right. Therefore, they should not have been shot. That's their thinking because of the fact they were fighting for racial equality as they see it. What they actually want is apartheid, really. Okay? Because these people were doing this for black people. That's what makes it racist. You see, in this case, the convicted child molester, um, and the other guy, they were defending black people from the evil white supremacist in their minds. Therefore, that's why it's racist. Okay, in the minds of this lady and others like her. Okay, in the minds of her people like her and Mark Ruffalo and Pablo or Pedro Pascal, whatever the dude's name is. I don't really give a hoot. I don't really care. They all need to just leave America. They think that their point of view is best, and they should go off to Russia and live there. And then she goes on. Kyle Rittenhouse is a effing murderer. They concluded F white supremacy. It's not white supremacy. You're a twit, Charlie Feldman. Though her attempt to paint the legality of self-defense in the U.S. as an element of white supremacy is outright absurd, and I think everybody would agree with that, especially given how said self-defense laws allowed for Andrew A.J. Coffey IV. And I know, and this is a story that I know Anthony Brian Logan also did a video on, this Andrew Coffey guy, A.J. Coffey the fourth guy, a black man to be acquitted of similar charges that same day comes as no surprise given their own social media history, which reveals a genuine belief in popular critical social justice narratives. Yeah. Okay. So I guess with this Andrew Coffey guy, right? This AJ Coffey guy, he was basically acquitted. I think it was in Virginia of virtually kind of the same thing, and he was a black man. Their whole narrative, and I know ABL was all over this with the narrative and how this just utterly destroys their narrative. How if Kyle Rittenhouse was black, then he would have been hung. He would have been shot. He would all this and that. You know, um, but you know, but yeah. So, anyways, let's go on here. For example, on June 25th of this year, Feldman tweeted, quote, "If you're blissfully unaware, white rage is trending because folks are trying to keep crucial race theory or critical race theory from being taught. No, they're trying to keep critical racism um, theory from being taught. Quote, a totally normal and chill desire, unquote, that they then disingenuously dismissed actual criticisms of CRT, such as concerns over the reinforcement of such concepts as race essentialism and race-based self-loathing, which I'd have to agree with. Quote, no rage there, just daisies and white supremacy. Yeah, it's kind of funny how they want, it's one of those ideas where they're projecting. They're just projecting their own inner demons onto everybody else. It's not the white people who are racist. It's not Kyle Rittenhouse who's racist. It's not Judge Schroeder who is racist. It's not the quartering who's racist. It's not us here who are racist. They're the ones who are the true racist. Okay, Charlie Feldman is a true racist. Okay, Mark Ruffalo is a true racist. Pedro Pascal is a true racist. Okay, they're projecting. It took me almost an hour here to get through and I'm still working my way through the article here. Let's see. I caved and took my ex out yesterday. Yeah, the scope come in handy today. All right. All right. Don't know what that exactly meant, but anyways, back to the article. However, their most egregious take on the subject of violence and white supremacy came on December 14th, 2012, when they described how their own paranoia had led them to come to a point where every time I pass a 20 something lone white male, I feel the need to ask them to please not shoot people. Oh, yeah, we read that in the other article too, right? Um, Yeah. And I've already kind of said what I think on that particular comment. As of writing, Feldman has since made their Twitter account. I wonder why. Could it be that maybe she's getting ratioed for these stupid comments? What do you make of Feldman's appraisal of Rittenhouse and his being found not guilty on all counts? Let us know your thought. She's an idiot. She's a twittiot. She just, she should just, shut her mouth and just go on with her life and not make comments like this. Nobody really wants to hear them, and the more she, what's that biblical? Let's see, something about a fool tends to run their mouth. I think it's an actual scripture. In fact, I think it's actually in Proverbs. I believe, you know, Proverbs are made. I think it's in Proverbs. I believe where it's something about a fool tends to run their mouth quite loosely. So, um, oy vey. Just kidding. Preach, Mike. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, it's just one of those things where, where, yeah, this girl she should just she should basically just keep her mouth shut and just go on with her life because she's not really doing anybody any good running her mouth off like this. She's turning people off to her product. People are probably not going to want to support her in any way. There might be a few people who think like her, but most people are not going to want to. Better keep your mouth shut and let people think you're wise. Better to keep your mouth shut and let people think you're wise than open it and prove otherwise. Yeah, okay, yeah, I remember that. Yeah, yeah. That I don't know which version that came, but that's a good version. That let me read that one more time here for those in the back. Better keep your mouth shut and let people think you're wise rather than open it and prove otherwise. Yeah, so there's another way that has words to do without doubt, I think. But yeah. Thank you for that, Rick. A simple and old truth. Yep, that's true, Becca. Let's see. Um, that is my paraphrased version. Yep. Okay. Strap on, strap on, spelled backwards. Says no pat. Okay. Okay. Parts. Oh, strap on, strap on, spelled backwards says no parts. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's a very interesting thing to bring up there. Anyways, moving on to the next couple of articles here. And that we've had enough of Miss Feldman for one day. Let's look at some anime news here now as we're now just past the hour mark. So I'm gonna probably try to start trying to get through these a little quicker here. Um, Okay, Attack on Titan final season part 2 release date announced alongside new trailer. Article by John F. Trent published this past Friday. All right. Crunchyroll announced the release date for Attack on Titan final season part 2 alongside a new trailer. Take a look at the new trailer, and you can go to YouTube for that if you want to see that. As the trailer notes, Attack on Titan Final Season Part 2 will arrive on Crunchyroll beginning on January 9th, 2022, which I believe that will be on a Thursday. Yeah, that'll be on a Thursday. Along with arriving on Crunchyroll, it will also stream on Funimation and Hulu. The official description from Crunchyroll states, quote, in the epic continuation of the worldwide anime phenomenon, starting with episode 76, the lines between friends and enemies become even more blurred. The war for Paradis explodes in Shiganshina, and as battle rages on, and the true intentions of the mastermind behind current state of the world become clear, the series will be subtitled in 8 different languages on Crunchyroll and be available in more than 200 countries and territories worldwide. Attack on Titan is based on the best selling manga of the same name by Hajime Isayama. Over 100 million volumes of the manga have been sold worldwide. The series is currently produced by Studio Mappa. The official synopsis for the series reads, quote, many years ago, humanity was forced to retreat behind the towering walls of a fortified city to escape the massive man-eating titans that lurked outside their forces. Only the heroic members of the scout regiment dared to stray behind the safety of the walls. But even those brave warriors seldom returned alive. Are you looking forward to checking out Attack on Titan Final Season Part 2? Well, I probably will when it comes to Toonami. Um, yeah, that was a quick article there. It's actually a pretty quick article. Let's see now. Let's see. Let's see what you guys are saying here since I last checked. Um, why don't let's see. Let's see what you guys are saying. So, why don't cannibals eat clowns? Because they taste funny. We gotta use some of this on Friday back out. These would have been good for the Lulz trophy. Why do Avon ladies talk funny? Because they're lipstick. Okay. No, because they're chewy. Oh, wait. That's Wokies. All right. 50-yard dash to the outhouse by Willie Moket. The Yellow River by J.P. Freely. Let's see. Oh, the second part of Kevin Smith He-Man comes out tomorrow, I believe. Yeah, and that series has been getting pretty panned from what I understand. Well, Clownfish will be putting out a video, putting out a lot of videos. I'm not allowed. Hmm. Yeah. So, all right. So, anyways, so let's get to this article then. Let's see. Where are we at on time right now? An hour and 6 minutes. So we're doing pretty well on time. Okay. Yeah, so. Yeah. So, Chris, I take it you got my message, my email. Sent you the link to the stream here to kind of remind you, see if you come in. So I appreciate you coming in and stuff like that. Um, all right. So, and I just got, it just looked like everybody just dropped off all of a sudden, according to YouTube. What do you call a group of blonde dip chicks? Here. Yep. Netflix's Cowboy Bebop starred Daniela Pineda on previous video response to critics. I felt like that response was definitely in the spirit of Faye. Article by Spencer McCooley, published this past Saturday. All right, so we're back to seeing, and I think even Yellow Flash comment, did a video on this as well. So here we go. According to Daniela Pineda, the actress who portrays Faye Valentine in the largely unwanted live-action Netflix adaptation of Cowboy Bebop, which is true because the more we see of it, the more people see of it, the more they dislike it. And the latest issue with it, of course, is how they apparently are trying to turn. I don't know if the guy's name is Grell or Gren or something like that. I think it's Gren into some kind of LGBTQ plus icon. Um, The criticisms against the changes made to her character were nothing but the work of, quote, very, very vocal trolls, unquote. While her derisive video response to said critics, quote, was definitely in the spirit of Faye, unquote. I don't know if a lot of people would agree with that because Faye doesn't have a problem with being a femme fatale. You apparently do, Miss Pineda. Oh. So, anyways, we got our 3 viewers back. Goody. Pineda broached the subject of her infamous video response, in which she replied to fan concerns by sarcastically dismissing their apprehensions during an interview. Deadline published on November 19th, which was this past Friday, ostensibly in promotion of Cowboy Bebop's release on Netflix that same day. Asked by reporter Alexandra Del Rosario for thoughts on the overwhelming rejection of Netflix's disingenuously reasoned, desexualized, in smaller quotes, take on Faye by longtime fans of the original Cowboy Bebop anime, Pineda asserted, quote, it was definitely my first interaction with very, very vocal trolls. You know, as I think, was it Quartering who mentioned this? I don't know. It was Quartering or Yellow Flash. One of the two. Excuse me. By the way, they were talking about how they didn't really. It was probably the Quartering because I know Yellow Flash knows what the original manga author's thought on it was because I know he did a video on it. So it's probably Quartering who said this, but they really didn't take they didn't actually it wasn't even it was Micah Curtis actually Micah Curtis who mentioned this. They didn't and I know Yellow Flash also mentioned it too that they didn't really take much of they they're trying to make it sound like the original author of the manga was totally on board with their adaptation, and he wasn't. They he just submitted some notes, and they just kind of did what they wanted with it, anyways. You know, I don't think he really approves of this particular. I know a number of commentators have talked about that too. Anyways, quote, social media gives access to pretty much anyone who wants to say anything, unquote. She continued, quote, although I feel like some people would be disheartened, I found a way to clap back with that video that I gave, which was very cheeky and silly. Rather than stay quiet, which is usually what everybody wants you to do, I just felt so inclined to say something, unquote. Again, going back to what we were talking about earlier, right? Right, Rick? Let's see, what was it? Night boat. Oh, you heading out, toys? Night, man. Thanks for dropping in. Let's see now. Yeah, better keep your mouth shut and let people think you're wise, than open it and prove otherwise. I think Danielle Pineda is another person who needs to take that advice to heart. Wouldn't you say, Rick? Uh, anyways, I felt like that response was definitely in the spirit of Faye. No, it wasn't because Faye doesn't have an issue with being a femme fatale. She further recalled, quote, also, I got Steve Bloom's blessing, the voice of Spike, who, of course, you got Steve Bloom's because he's left leaning too. He's left leaning too. He's right up there with him and Mary McGlynn. They've both been trashing Trump the last couple of years as well. So, um, also, I got okay, and we read that part. Um, all right, guys, I don't care what you say. If that guy backs me up, no one can say any. Of course, he's going to back you up because he's he's into that too. He's left leaning too. So, all right. So, pointing to the praise Pineda received by supporters following the sharing of her video, Del Rosario noted that, quote, it must have been a nice thing to see on your end, unquote, to which the actress affirmed, quote, it was really affirming and awesome, unquote. Quote, the majority of the responses and interactions that I have had were really supportive, unquote. She added, it was just easy to see that, but if you love that type of attitude in a cartoon, why wouldn't you love that type of attitude in real life? I think that was pretty awesome. I think also highly untraditional. Well, okay, having the attitude is one thing, but the style wasn't the problem. It was the substance. It was the substance of what you said, not the style. I don't think anybody had a problem with the style. I think people had a problem with the substance. So back to cookies. Peace toys. Back to cookies. Yeah. So back goat. So you're gonna email YouTube the screenshot of what happened earlier, right? Ultimately, Pineda concluded, quote, I didn't even think about it when I was doing it until after. Of course, you didn't think about it. Otherwise, you would have been more prepared for the reaction. It apparently didn't cross your mind that there were going to probably be people who were not going to be happy with that. I also was not expecting to get any attention at all, unquote. Well, again, that's where you're wrong because Cowboy Bebop is one of the most popular animes of all time. So, a doubtful declaration given that she explicitly shared the post to her social media. Yeah. Netflix's live action adaptation of Netflix's Cowboy Bebop is now streaming. What do you make of Pineda's reflections on her previous video response to critics of Faye's live action character? Let us know. I think she doesn't know what she's talking about. Bottom line, she really doesn't know what she's talking about. Well, it looks like they just added a story here. Well, at least I know that people will probably try to catch the replay and hopefully will like it as well. So, anyways, we only had one more article to do, but they added another one. Probably just do this one article. We'll see where we're at. Well, I'll probably save that newer one for tomorrow night. Give it like time, but we'll do this last article and then we'll be done with the main part of the screen. So, first look at Old Woman Buffy revealed. Article by John F. Trent published earlier today. Boom Studios revealed a first look at their upcoming Old Woman Buffy series, Buffy the Last Vampire Slayer. There's a scene in Buffy the Last Vampire. Boom previously announced the series and revealed a number of covers back in September. The author revealed it would be a 4-issue series written by Casey Gilley and artist Joe Jarrow. Back in September, the series' official description stated, quote, in a world ruled by darkness, Buffy Summers is the last Slayer. A magical catastrophe has ended the Slayer line and nearly blotted out the sun, allowing vampires to prey on humanity unimpeded. The description concluded, quote, now in her 50s, Buffy wages a desperate one-woman fight against the forces of evil. That is, while she stumbles across something she hadn't seen in a long time, hope, in the form of a prophecy, and the young girl who carries it. Unquote. Boom Studios has now provided an updated synopsis as well as revealing a first look at the interiors of the book. And we've been seeing them here. Yeah, Mike, I'll mail that screenshot off to Team YouTube. Yeah. Thanks, Becco. Yeah. Because maybe if people start reporting him, maybe he'll stop not just with me, but with other people too. Later at the Action Toys channel. Hey, Rick. Thanks for being here, man. So we're on to this last comics article right here. Um, the updated synopsis begins, quote, "Can a lone slayer save what's left of humanity?" Buffy Summers is the last slayer. Now in her 50s, she wages a one-woman fight against the forces of darkness, who prey on humanity in the daylight unimpeded thanks to a magical catastrophe that has nearly blotted out the sun. It continued, quote, "The same disaster robbed Buffy of her friends and ended the Slayer line, forcing her into an endless guerrilla war. That is, until she stumbles across something she hasn't seen in a long time, hope, in the form of a prophecy and the young girl who carries it," unquote. Oh, here we go. Series features covers by Rod Race, Danny Pendergast, Jacob Rebelka, and Giuseppe Camuncoli. The main cover is done by Ario Anindito. The first issue arrives in December. So here we go. What do you make of the first look at Buffy the Last Vampire Slayer? All right, so that's it. I mean, there is a newer article that just did come up, but I'm gonna save that for tomorrow. At least have something, obviously at least one thing for tomorrow night. You know, give us, sure there'll be a few more stories added as we get to that point. Let's see. So Buffy has become Blade. Probably, I guess. Sort of. Yeah. Well, Boom Studios, I think, is a publisher over in England, I think, over in the UK. So they've been doing a lot of stuff as well. Yeah. So, anyways, so we're at hour 24 now. Yeah. All right. So just a little update here. This week is going to be a short week. I'm only going to be broadcasting episodes up through Wednesday. I'll be taking Thursday and Friday off, so no historical comic retrospect next this week. We'll be back to that next week. Backgoat, I still need to hear from you on if you know yet if you're going to be going earlier or not on your vacation. So I can make other arrangements. So if you can get back to me on that ASAP, that'd be appreciated. Um, so with that, we'll start to wrap up here a bit. Um, let's see. So, so we're now going to start finishing up here. So the last part of the thing we do during the show is this day in each history. Today being Monday, November 22nd, 2021. We're going to take a look back at this day in each history. So hopefully everybody's ready for that. Um, just got to double check some stuff here. Okay. So are you guys ready for this day in each history? Here we go again. Let's see. Yeah, Batgoat. If you can re-add that as well, because obviously we have he's back again. So history, okay. Yeah, Batgoat. Did you just see that last comment and you also will add that to the report as well, right? Anyways, we will get ready here. Okay, so now let's go ahead and yeah, it's good. Niche it up. All right. So without any further ado, let's get to this day in each history. All right. So, anyways, I'm sorry, a little distracted there. All right. So first off, we're gonna go back 30 years ago today to 1991. Um, where on this date in 1991, um, two movies of significance: Walt Disney's Beauty and the Beast, and Universal Pictures' American Tail 50 Goes West, the sequel to American Tail, were released on this date 30 years ago today, back in 1991. So on this date, back in 1991, An American Tail, Five Goes West, and Beauty and the Beast were were um, were released on this date back 30 years ago today. So, anyways, now moving on to the next piece in each history here. Last piece. We only had a couple of pieces that I could find for tonight. Love Beauty and the Beast. It's no mermaid, but it's good. Yeah, and just think about it. 30 years ago today, is when it was released back out. Think about that. 30 years ago today, right? On this date, 15 years ago, back in 2006, the 845th issue of Action Comics went on sale on this date back in 2006. 15 years ago today. It sold for $2.99. The story was Last Son Part 2, um, written by Jeff Jones and Richard Donner. Um, so, with that, so on this date, 15 years ago today, as I said, 845th issue of Action Comics went on sale. So there we go. That's it for history tonight. I thank you guys for being here tonight, even though we had an issue with a certain individual. Um, basically trying to cause problems. Um, Batcode, I know you basically been recording that stuff, and we'll send that off to particularly his threat about trying to show me what bullying actually is. Um, so, anyways, I thank you guys, and for all the friendly people out there, I hope you guys will be back tomorrow night. And to those who would seek to disrupt, distract, and to otherwise bully and harass, you are not welcome here. So let me make that perfectly clear. So, anyways, guys, I thank the good people for being here, and I look forward to seeing you guys back here tomorrow night. All right, bye. See y'all tomorrow. Bye.